Hello, my name is Ray Woodcock, and I've just written a book called Globalization from Genesis to Geneva, and subtitled A Confluence of Humanity. If you want to know more about globalization and to form your own judgment, which is what I wanted to do when I started to write this book, and to know what is good and evil about the journey we are on, and what we might do about it, then this book might be for you. It's not meant to be an expert guide, nor a reference manual, but it does bring together many, many elements of this vast and complex subject. History of civilization, impacts of World War I, neoliberalism, financial crash, and experiences and opinions. For the main part, it's written as an essay of discovery and understanding. And I have interwoven personal stories and my own philosophies, which I hope add to making the book a lighter and more fascinating read. Give it a chance, see if you agree. The book's major thesis is that globalization is a natural coming together of humanity, thus an inevitable confluence, a natural energy flow which occurs whenever knowledge of the world attracts and technologies advance to aid strong interaction between peoples. Those two criteria have always been increasing. What is different today is that knowledge of the world and those interaction technologies are far more widespread, are making the pull of globalization stronger than at any time in history. We must not ignore this force. Rather, our social and political structures must guide it and benefit from it, to take energy from it. Structures inappropriate to the environment will be eroded away. It's like a lump of sugar in coffee or an ice cube in warm water. Social structure is no different, so the same rules apply to any social organization or political construct. It's the same for the family or for democracy. The amount of energy required to make structure stable is dependent on the environment surrounding the structure. So, for example, if democracy is working with a large proportion of contented citizens, then effort to maintain democracy comes from within the system. With similar logic, if a nation state has to give up some degree of sovereignty to be in the global free trade club, then that's okay if the resulting output and the outlook remains positive. Energy for the new structure will continue to come from within. Another way of looking at it is that macro shifts of global politics can work only if supported by sufficient people. That is, at the micro level. Those who make up real businesses and feed real families in real communities. By the way, that macro-micro distinction has an interesting parallel with the problem scientists have. That is, the linking of quantum mechanics for subatomic particles with theories concerning the nature of the universe. Einstein pondered it. Stephen Hawking continues the quest to find the elusive theory of everything. The earliest of civilizations were built on trade. Wars came afterwards. And although our global structure of sovereign nation states has been blamed for inciting excessive competition, leading to more wars, that structure has also provided the relative stability from which international agreements pledge to eliminate aggression and conquest, by bringing the world peacefully together through global trade and exchange. The problem is not the intent. The problem is the way it's being implemented, and it's failing. Neoliberalist and free market extremism, predatory speculation in the virtual economy rather than the real economy, extortion and exploitation of developing countries by rich nations and through transnational corporations. The spoils are being shared by an ever-narrowing group of mega-rich. But why is it failing? After all of this is natural human behavior. Why should we expect different? It's been observed over history, so why should it change? Well, I go back to the two criteria which drive the global confluence: knowledge of the world and interaction technologies. This reality will underlie any choice we make, so whatever choice must be compatible. We cannot oppose it, yet there is much to be done in guiding how it occurs. So the solution might not be easy, but the choice amongst alternatives, I think, is clear. We can fight the confluence and attempt to withdraw again into protectionist nation states, with the result that we go to war for the next 100 years to fight for the commodities we need, while annihilating a large enough population to make the diminished world production remain sufficient to feed the survivors. Or we can acknowledge the confluence, but insist on approaching the global economy as traditional autonomous nation states, sitting on the fence, waiting to see who can balance longest, and laughing at their grief when one falls down. We can also embrace the world as our business, the health of the planet as our only hope for a sustainable future, and that we need the contribution and success of everyone for collective survival.